Have you ever felt like you were meant for something great, but ended up just living a regular life? Maybe you thought your calling would shake the world, but instead, you're just trying to get through the day. This video might change how you see that, because the Hebrew Bible gives us a character and a name that flips the script. His name is Boaz. This is actually my favorite name in the entire Bible, not just because it sounds strong, but because of what it represents. Boaz wasn't a prophet, he wasn't a warrior. He was a landowner, a farmer, just a man. And yet, his simple act of kindness changed history. Not through a speech, not through a miracle, but through a choice. The name Boaz in Hebrew is spelled Boaz, and it's actually a combination of two Hebrew words. Bo means in him or within. Oz means strength, might, or power. So the name means in him is strength, or he is full of strength. But here's the twist. In the Bible, Oz isn't usually about muscles. It's not brute force. It's the kind of strength that holds people up, that protects, that endures. Like in Psalm 29, the Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace. That's the kind of Oz we're talking about. Most people don't realize this, but Boaz isn't only the name of a person in the Bible. It's also the name of a pillar. Yeah, in 1 Kings chapter 7, we read that King Solomon built the temple in Jerusalem. And at the entrance, he placed two massive bronze pillars. One was called Yakin, meaning he establishes. And the other? Boaz. In him is strength. These weren't structural supports. They weren't holding up the ceiling. They were there to say something. They stood like silent guards, declaring that whoever entered this place was stepping into the strength of God. So now we have two Boazes in the Bible. One is a man in Bethlehem. One is a pillar in the temple. The first is living. The second is standing. But they share something powerful. The pillar says, "Here stands strength." The man says, "Here lives strength," expressed in love. Because true strength isn't how loud you roar. It's how faithfully you serve. The human Boaz appears in the Book of Ruth. He's a wealthy man, but more importantly, he's a righteous man. He notices Ruth, a poor foreign widow, gleaning in his fields. And instead of ignoring her, he protects her. He provides for her. He honors her. And in the end, he marries her. Not because he had to, but because he chose to do what was right. And that's when everything shifts. Boaz never gave a sermon. He never raised an army. He never led a revival. But through one act of quiet, compassionate strength, he became the great-grandfather of King David. He didn't set out to change the world. He just did the next right thing. And God took it from there. Here's where it gets deeper. Boaz isn't just an ancestor of the Messiah in many ways. He's a picture of the Messiah. Think about it. He sees someone without status, a woman from outside the people of Israel, and he brings her into the covenant, into the joy, into the inheritance of God's people. Not because of her achievements, but because of his grace. Sound familiar? That's what the Messiah does. He doesn't conquer with violence. He redeems with compassion. So let's come back to the name again. Boaz, in him is strength, not strength for domination, strength for redemption, strength for mercy, strength for kindness that echoes into eternity. So if you feel like your life isn't that big, that you're not doing something world-changing, maybe you're more like Boaz than you think. He didn't write laws. He didn't part seas. He just made room at his table for someone who didn't belong and treated her like she did. And God used that to launch a legacy of kings, and maybe, just maybe, he wants to do something similar through you. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If this spoke to you, you're not alone. There's a reason this name has echoed for thousands of years. And if you're hungry for more insights like this, I've got another video you'll want to see, right here. Let's keep learning together.